I like to remind myself of Hanukkah time, and it's well known on the one hand, and yet I'd like to tell you how the Bach says at the very beginning of HaTorah-Chanuka. It's quoted by later Achronim, but slightly differently. I think the way the Bach says it is very important. The question is, how can we celebrate Hanukkah the way we do, and we celebrate Purim in a very different way? On Hanukkah we have the mitzvah of Hadlakas Neiros. There's no real mitzvah of Seudah. We don't have the same type of boisterous celebration that's called for that we have on Purim. On Purim we don't have any mitzvah parallel to Hadlakas Neiros. There's Kriyas HaMegillah where we read the story, and then there's the Seudah. It's a very different character of the day. What is the reason for that? So everyone knows because it's a different nace, it was a different danger. But let's put it into perspective in the following way. The Bach writes as follows: when it comes to Hanukkah, the sin that got us into trouble to begin with was a spiritual sin. It was ruchnius, that we were not willing to be moser nefesh, to give ourselves, to put out the effort required to do the avoda properly in the Beis HaMikdash. Therefore, the danger and the tzara that we experienced was a spiritual danger. The Yevanim did not want to exterminate us. They simply wanted us to assimilate to their culture. And the tshuva was a spiritual tshuva. We were willing to be moser nefesh for kiyum mitzvos. We were willing to get killed in order to keep the mitzvos and to do the avoda. And therefore HaKadosh Baruch Hu saved us, and we celebrate that nace with the spiritual mitzvah of Hadlakas Neiros, and there is no physical manifestation of our celebration which is absolutely called for on Chanukah. On Purim it was very different. The chet was physical. Nenu misudas achashverosh. They participated in the extreme gashmius, the obsession with physical pleasure that took place in Shushan, and the tzara was physical. Haman wanted to annihilate the Jewish people. The tshuva related to the sin that we fasted and we removed ourselves from that sense of obsession of gashmius, and we were saved, and therefore we celebrate in a physical way as well. There's what to talk about in terms of Purim. Why should we celebrate with this? Exactly. But that's how it is. It's all parallel. So just to point out, when it comes to Chanukah, so we are recalling the whole story, which was of a ruchniistic nature, and we're celebrating HaKadosh Baruch Hu's redemption, which was b'inyanim ruchaniyim. And every year when we re-experience this time, so we're supposed to re-experience some of the things that took place, in particular, what allowed us to be worthy of Yeshua and to celebrate the Yeshua itself. And how do we do that? So the answer is through ruchnius, and that's the mitzvah of Hadlakas Neiros. It's not just the mitzvah of Hadlakas Neiros. This mitzvah and this whole explanation of the nature of mitzvah hayom of Chanukah really reflects the entire nature of the day, of the time period of Chanukah. Chanukah is a time period where we go ahead and renew and reaffirm our commitment to ruchnius, to spirituality. We reaffirm our engagement in ruchnius. We do that by Hadlakas Neiros, but Hadlakas Neiros is just the tip of the iceberg. It's a time for us to renew ourselves and to re-engage in the area of ruchnius. The Shla writes that this time period is particularly fit for engaging in Talmud Torah, for sinking into Talmud Torah, because that is the natural outgrowth. This is a time where we're supposed to go ahead and to do what the Maccabim did. What was that? So obviously they fought, but they fought with the background of renewed willingness for Mesirus Nefesh for Ruchnius. So sometime this holiday of Chanukah, it's a time when we're celebrating, so sometimes when there's celebration, we sort of lose focus a little bit from our normal schedule and our normal activities, and sometimes this can lead to a sense of vacation, which is understandable. At the same time, though, really the nature of the day is such where, of course, we have to celebrate, and of course, we should do that in a variety of ways, but at the same time, it's a time for us to renew our commitment to, engagement in, and full focus on rising in Ruchnius, and hopefully the mitzvah of Ner Chanukah will enable us to start that process, and we'll be able to continue that process over the course of Chanukah and leading throughout the winter. We'll be able to light up the winter with the light of Torah.